EduVerse PD podcast, brought to you by ProEd Education Solutions, your on-the-go professional development. Hello, and welcome to the world's first education podcast hosted by AI. Today, our dynamic co-hosts, Andy and Liz, are delving into some of the biggest questions facing educators in our rapidly evolving world. How can we stay ahead of the curve and truly guide our learners to success? We'll explore these challenges through the insights shared in the article Being a Guiding Star for Learner Success by Dr. Dinh Bao Quoc, featured in EduVerse Newsletter Issue 18, a special edition dedicated to neo-mindsets for tomorrow's education. Get ready for a thought-provoking conversation. Let's hand it over to Andy and Liz.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the EduVerse PD podcast.
It's great to have you back.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Liz.
We're your AI hosts.
And we are so excited to dive into some really fascinating ideas for teachers with you today.
Yeah, today we're looking at an article by Dr. Dinh Bao Quoc.
He's got over 20 years of experience in English language teaching.
Wow.
He even founded ProEd Education Solutions, which helps schools use innovative teaching and learning approaches.
So he definitely knows what he's talking about.
He does.
And in this article, he really digs into some big questions that I think all educators are facing these days.
Definitely.
Like, how do we stay ahead of the curve when, the world is changing so rapidly?
Yeah. How do we prepare students for a future that we can't even imagine yet?
Exactly.
It can feel overwhelming sometimes.
For sure. But Dr. Quoc offers some really concrete advice for teachers to help navigate those challenges.
I like that.
And he uses this great metaphor of teachers as guiding stars.
I love that.
Me too.
It's such a good image.
Yeah, it really captures the idea that, our role as educators, it's about so much more than just delivering content.
It really is.
It's about helping students find their own path.
Your own spark.
Yeah, their own light.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's unpack that a little bit.
Okay.
What does it actually mean to be a guiding star for our students?
Yeah. What does that look like in practice?
Well, Dr. Quoc outlines 3 key steps.
3 steps.
The first one is recognizing the impact we have as educators.
Okay. That sounds pretty straightforward.
It does.
But I think it's easy to lose sight of that sometimes.
You're absolutely right. It's especially when we're, caught up in the day-to-day grind of lesson planning and grading.
Yes, all the paperwork.
Right. We can forget that we're not just teaching subjects.
We're shaping lives.
Yeah.
It's a big responsibility.
It is.
It's amazing.
It is. And it's, I think back to my own experience as a student.
Yeah.
And I had this one teacher in high school who really believed in me, even when I doubted myself.
Oh, that's so important.
And, that kind of support can make all the difference.
It really can.
For a student.
And Dr. Quoc, actually, he tells this great story in the article.
Oh, yeah.
From a book called The Future Will Not Be Taught.
Okay.
And it's about a teacher helping a student figure out why he's struggling to learn about osmosis.
Oh, I remember that one.
And it's not about, forcing him to memorize facts.
Right.
It's about helping him understand his own learning process.
Exactly. And that's such a valuable lesson because if we can help students become aware of how they learn best,
yes,
then they'll be better equipped to succeed in any subject.
Absolutely.
That's so true.
It's like giving them a superpower.
It really is.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, thinking about your own students.
Yeah.
What's one small way that you could help them understand their own learning process better this week?
That's a good question.
Yeah. What question could you ask or what activity could you try to help them kind of tap into those strengths?
That's a great thing to think about.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was step 1.
Right. Recognizing our impact.
What's the second step to being a guiding star?
Okay, so the second step Dr. Quoc talks about is cultivating your inner light.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What does he mean by that?
Well, he's talking about the importance of continuous learning as educators.
Right.
Yeah, because how can we inspire a love of learning in our students if we're not actively engaged in it ourselves?
That's very true.
Right.
Lead by example.
Exactly.
I like that.
And he emphasizes this isn't just about, staying up to date on the latest curriculum or teaching techniques.
Right.
It's also about pursuing our own passions and interests.
So finding ways to bring our whole selves to the classroom.
Yes, exactly.
Even if it's just by sharing a story about something we're learning or excited about outside of school.
I love that.
Yeah.
And he gives this great example of Philip Alcock,
Oh, yeah.
an educator who created this project called AISPBL,
Okay.
which combines artificial intelligence with project-based learning.
That sounds really innovative.
It is. And what I love about that example is that it shows how teachers can take something they're passionate about,
Right.
like technology or project-based learning, and turn it into a rich and engaging experience for their students.
He found a way to connect science with soccer in one of his projects.
Oh, wow.
I bet the kids loved that.
I bet they did.
Yeah,
And that's what makes teaching so rewarding,
it is.
right? When we can find those creative ways to spark our students' curiosity and make learning come alive.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's so important to find those ways to connect what we're teaching with what students are interested in.
Right.
And, this idea of cultivating our inner light, it ties back to that first step, recognizing our impact.
How so?
Well, if we want to be effective guides for our students,
All right.
we need to be constantly learning and growing ourselves.
Yeah.
It's like that saying, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Oh, that's a good one.
Right.
We need to make sure we're taking care of our own intellectual and emotional well-being so we can show up for our students as our best selves.
Absolutely. And Dr. Quoc reminds us we don't have to do this alone.
Oh, that's good.
He really stresses the importance of connecting with other passionate educators.
I love that.
Right. It's easy to get caught up in our own classrooms
Yeah.
and forget that there's this whole community of amazing teachers out there who are facing similar challenges and celebrating similar victories.
Yeah, exactly.
He suggests attending workshops, reading books,
Yeah.
and just, engaging in conversations with colleagues. It's about building a network of support and inspiration.
I love that. I've definitely found that to be true in my own experience.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the best ideas I've implemented in my classroom have come from conversations with other teachers.
Like a collective brainstorming session.
Exactly.
And sometimes just hearing someone else's perspective can help us see our own challenges in a new light.
Yeah, I agree. So we've talked about recognizing our impact
Yes.
and cultivating our inner light.
What's that third step to being a guiding star?
Okay, so the third step Dr. Quoc outlines is leading with empathy and compassion.
I knew you were going to say that.
I've always felt that, building strong relationships with my students is the foundation of everything else.
It is.
Right.
And Dr. Quoc agrees. He says that genuine connection with students as individuals,
Yeah.
that builds trust and encourages them to engage more deeply with their learning.
It makes sense when you think about it.
It does.
Right? When students feel seen and understood, they're more likely to take risks,
Yes.
ask questions, be open to new ideas.
It creates a safe space for them to explore, to make mistakes, and to learn from those mistakes.
Yeah, and that's where the human element of teaching really comes in.
It really does.
Right.
Yeah.
A computer program can deliver information,
Yeah.
but it can't offer a kind word or recognize a student's potential when they're feeling down.
Exactly. Those are the moments that I think really make a difference.
They do.
Those human moments of connection. The smiles, the high five, the shared laughter, those are the things that make teaching so much more than just a job.
Right. And I think it's those moments that often have the biggest impact on students' lives.
Yeah. They might not remember every fact,
No,
but they'll remember how we made them feel.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I know we talked earlier about technology and how it's changing the landscape of education.
did.
So how does Dr. Quoc see empathy and compassion fitting into this increasingly digital world?
That's a great question. And, it's one a lot of teachers are grappling with right now.
For sure.
But Dr. Quoc is very clear that technology should never replace the warmth of human connection.
Oh.
He sees technology as a tool
Oh.
that can enhance our ability to connect with students if we use it thoughtfully and intentionally.
I like that.
For example, he talks about using technology to create personalized learning experiences
Yeah.
or to connect students with mentors and experts from all over the world.
Yeah.
He also quotes Cloud Segura Benkaidia, who emphasizes the importance of teaching students to be digitally responsible
Okay.
and to avoid becoming overly dependent on AI tools.
Oh, that's such a good point, because it's about finding that balance.
It is.
Right. Between leveraging the power of technology
Yes.
and preserving that essential human element of teaching and learning.
Yeah, making sure technology serves our students rather than the other way around.
Exactly. And I think that goes back to the idea of being a guiding star.
It does.
Right. We're helping students navigate this complex digital world and showing them how to use these powerful tools in ways that are, ethical and responsible
Yes.
and beneficial.
And speaking of navigating this complex world,
Yeah.
Dr. Quoc has some really interesting thoughts about the broader impact of teaching.
Okay. Tell me more.
Well, he reminds us that the skills we're nurturing in our students,
Okay.
things like critical thinking, empathy, resilience. These are the skills that will empower them to become not just successful individuals,
Right.
but also engaged citizens.
Yes.
Who can make a positive difference in the world.
Wow, that puts it all in perspective.
It does.
We're not just preparing students for exams.
Yeah.
We're preparing them for life.
Exactly. And the ripple effect of that is immense.
I love that.
Think about it.
Okay.
When we empower students,
Yeah.
we're not just impacting them,
Right.
but also their families, their communities,
Yeah.
and ultimately the world around us.
I love that visual of a ripple effect.
It's powerful.
It's a powerful reminder that our work as educators extends far beyond the walls of our classrooms.
It really does.
Yeah, it really is amazing to think about the impact we have
This.
as educators. You know, sometimes it's easy to get so caught up
Yeah.
in the day-to-day challenges, and
Right.
we lose sight of that bigger picture.
Yeah, we do. But this article's a great reminder
It is.
of the power and privilege we have to shape young minds and influence the future.
And, you know, he ends the article with this really powerful call to action, encouraging teachers to really embrace their role as guiding stars.
Yeah.
And he offered some concrete steps, you know, teachers can take to embark on this journey.
Oh, that's good. I like concrete steps.
Yeah, he suggests starting by reflecting on the impact
Okay.
they want to make.
To being intentional
Yeah,
about it.
yeah, asking ourselves, what kind of guiding star do I want to be
Yeah.
for my students?
Love that.
He also emphasizes the importance of lifelong learning for educators,
Oh, of course.
right? Encouraging us to stay curious, explore new ideas,
Yeah.
and constantly seek out ways to, you know, grow and improve our practice.
It's about modeling that love of learning
It is.
for our students.
Right. Showing them that growth and discovery are lifelong pursuits.
Absolutely. And he reminds us we don't have to do it alone.
No, we don't.
Connecting with other passionate educators
Yes,
is so crucial
it is.
for sharing ideas, finding support, and re-energizing our commitment.
Yeah, those connections can be so valuable. Sometimes just having a conversation with a colleague who gets it can make all the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And finally, he leaves us with this thought-provoking idea.
Yeah.
Think beyond the classroom. He's challenging us to see our role as educators extending beyond the wall of our schools and into the wider community.
So it's not just about the content we teach,
No.
but the values we model,
Mm-hmm.
the relationships we build,
Right.
and the example we set for our students as engaged citizens.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that our influence ripples outward,
Love that.
impacting not just our students, but also their families, their communities, and ultimately the world around us.
You know what strikes me about this article
What's that?
is that it's not about some unattainable ideal of teaching, about being perfect.
Or having all the answers.
Right, yeah.
Nobody does.
Exactly.
But it is about simple human things.
Yes.
Recognizing our impact,
Uh-huh.
nurturing our own growth,
Yeah.
connecting with empathy.
And using technology wisely.
Those are things any teacher can do,
They are.
regardless of their experience or the resources available to them.
It really is about remembering why we became teachers in the first place.
Yeah.
You know, that passion for igniting curiosity and helping students discover their own potential.
Dr. Quoc's words are a powerful reminder that each of us has the ability to be a guiding star for our students.
They are.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
we want to leave you with a few questions to reflect on.
Okay.
What qualities did the teachers who had the greatest impact on you possess? How can you embody those qualities in your own teaching practice?
Good question.
And how can you use your unique strengths and passions
Yeah.
to become a guiding star for your students?
We hope this episode has given you some practical insights and renewed inspiration for your journey as an educator.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you next time.
Keep shining brightly.
What an enlightening discussion. Thank you, Andy and Liz, for unpacking the big questions and offering practical strategies to guide our learners toward success in this ever-changing landscape. To read Dr. Quoc's full article and explore deeper insights, head over to our website and download EduVerse Newsletter Issue 18 at www.proed.com.vn/eduverse. And remember, if you have ideas or experiences to share, we'd love to hear from you. Submit your article to EduVerse and help shape the future of education. Thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to connecting with you in our next episode of the EduVerse PD podcast, brought to you by ProEd Education Solutions.